Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Lee Horine with Innate Chiropractic. And if you have ever questioned your diagnosis or that the doctors maybe got something wrong, well, you're not alone in thinking that because you should probably be thinking that. In fact, most of the time that you're diagnosed, the research shows that doctors aren't going to agree on that same diagnosis, even with things as severe as cancer, which is kind of mind-boggling because you want to make sure for sure that if you are being labeled with anything, right? I don't believe that people should be labeled, period, actually, because, and I'll get into that shortly, but when doctors make an initial diagnosis, they're going off of things that they see, and a lot of times what they see, what they think, the tests that they run, they can be wrong. And so it's always a good idea to get a second opinion. And when you get that second opinion often will be in conflict with the first. In fact, only 12% of second opinions are the exact same as the first diagnosis that you were given. And this comes straight out of the Mayo Clinic studies. I'll try to post the link to that study so you guys can take a look at it. Now, that right there means basically 1 out of 10 diagnoses, you don't know if the first one's right or the second one is right. That means they're in conflict. So only 10% of the time or 12% of the time it actually changes. Now, stripping away the diagnosis in its entirety, really what a diagnosis is just labeling where there's an area that's problematic, right? Where there is a breakdown in the tissue, where there's an abnormality in the system. Most diagnoses come down to just calling it a name and labeling it, and then we kind of have general ideas on what that problem is, and then maybe can we cut it out? Is there certain medications that we can throw at it? We're more or less just trying to manage the symptoms. What is very important to realize is that your body is constantly healing, right? From the minute that you're born all the way up until you die, your body is healing. And it's the only thing and the only way that your body will ever overcome anything is because it has that self-maintaining, self-regulating, self-organizing structure from the innate intelligence that's running your body, so you don't have to think about it, and you're able to heal. And you're resisting the forces of nature, right? Because the minute something dies, any organism dies, what happens? It immediately begins to decay. So it starts to break down. Well, what's preventing us from just decaying right now? Well, it's that internal healing ability of new cells that are being created that resist the forces of nature to just decay back into organic matter of the earth. So we want to make sure that we have that ability to fully express that innate intelligence within us, and that comes from how the brain communicates to the body and how the body is now relaying that information back to the brain, so that all the cells that are being created in your body are being created to the maximum potential, which should be normal, but that's maximum expression of life potential and maximum expression of health, so that the cells in your body are making up healthy tissues, and those healthy tissues are making up healthy organs, and healthy organs make up a healthy human being. And that's ultimately what we're striving for, is that expression of innate intelligence and life force potential that's within inside of you. Now, if you take a diagnosis, and that's you have basically a label of a problem, and you identify with that, well, now you're basically making the assumption that you're going to be stuck with that the rest of your life with a lot of different conditions. Now, if you get a diagnosis of a bruise or something like that, well, we go, oh yeah, well, of course this bruise is going to go away. But if you get labeled with something like an autoimmune disease, oftentimes that label comes with the expectation that you're going to have this for the rest of your life. Even things like hypertension or high blood pressure, the expectation comes, all right, well, now you're going to take this pill because you have high blood pressure, and they don't ever tell you, the doctors never say, okay, well, you're going to get off of this pill at such and such date. So it comes with the expectation that this is a lifelong thing, that your body cannot heal from it. And that is something that I entirely disagree with, because your body, by its very nature, the fact that it is constantly healing, has the potential to heal. So whatever your diagnosis may be, whatever it may be in the past, one, it may not be accurate. Different doctors may not agree with that diagnosis. In fact, as the research shows, only 12%, like I was saying, which is crazy, will actually agree with that initial diagnosis. So whether it's something kind of minor or something more severe, clearly when it's more severe, you want a second opinion, but you also want to do something where you're able to increase the potential of life force energy to be flowing through your body. And that's what we do with neurologically based chiropractic. So wherever you're hearing this, wherever you're seeing this video from, if this relates to you and you've been labeled with a diagnosis, you need to seek out a neurologically based chiropractor so that you can have that energy from your body flowing to your cells. And this isn't some hippy dippy thing that I'm talking about. Like literally there's a life force energy that is animating your cells that the minute you die, that goes away and you begin to decay. The cells begin to immediately break down. They're not able to function. So we're talking about life and how life is communicating throughout your entire body. And it is a absolute real thing that we can increase, and we can increase that potential through specific gentle chiropractic care. And I highly encourage you, if you have any type of diagnosis or significant, especially a significant diagnosis, that you need to be getting that life force energy flowing in your body as soon as possible, and it'll make a massive impact in your health and your ability to basically just do what your body was designed to do on its own without any interference. And that's bottom line what chiropractic does in a nutshell. Is we don't do a whole lot except for remove any blocks where your body wasn't able to communicate so that it can heal the way that it just would normally heal, like when you were a young kid, or if you're dealing with kids, the way that they're supposed to heal. As an adult, you're supposed to heal across the board. Everything heals. It doesn't stop. There's really no limitations to matter. Of course, unless you cut off your arm or something like that, there are, I guess, a few limitations there. But you catch my point. So I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. And if you have any questions, drop a comment and let me know what you think. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.